one right here. I'm somewhat familiar with. Well, not as familiar as I said I was. Yeah.
There you go.
That work all right?
Yeah. Why don't you give us a test like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Okay, just a second. I just lost 5. 5, 4, 3,
A
2.
little bit low. I mean, in volume and placement.
How's that? Is that better?
It's still really low from
It's,
level. Back and through there, we're
it's
gonna
the
need to
audio
have that.
level that's low, Frank. There isn't anything you can do.
Yeah, it's the
Oh.
audio level.
Okay.
Pretty soon I'm going to be swallowing it.
It sounds like you have a very supportive group there.
Yeah. I'm going to need it. All right.
How about giving us the ABCs from it? Let's see how your audio is again.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Sounding a little
It's
better.
sounding a little bit better.
Could still have a little bit more volume.
A, B, C, D.
Yes.
That's good.
That's a lot better.
Okay.
Okay, Frank, give us a feel for hopefully what you want to do.
What I want to do basically is kind of test something out for myself, and that is to find out if I can approximate at all what I do in a normal classroom in front of a television screen.
Okay.
Okay?
We still are low on your volume. Zach, I don't know. Kind of keep talking to us for a minute, Frank, if you would.
Okay. Have you heard the one about...
How's that?
I don't know what
Go
you're...
a little higher.
Our main
How's that?
concern- We can hear you reasonably well, but we're worried about the external size. Because if
Okay.
it's low as it is here, it's not very good.
You know, when you look at that monitor, it parts your hair on the other
Okay,
side.
now, that's good.
You know?
Okay, Frank, so basically you're going to try some of the same things you would do in your normal classroom setting, those being what?
Well, I want to cover one concept,
Good,
and I want to use the blackboard and see if that works in this
Okay.
situation, okay?
great,
Because that's different than using an overhead or something like that.
great. We'll look for those two things and then anything else you want us to comment on.
Okay.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Today, I want to talk about what Irving Goffman calls framing. I'm already hung up on that. It's by Irving Goffman. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about the social construction of reality, symbolic interactionism, the definition of the situation, and framing, a la Irving Goffman, is an interesting way to bring this down to reality. You can talk about framing in terms of sophisticated scientific ideas like cognition, cognitive templates, mapping, categorical templates. I just want to talk about it in a real basic sense, in that the way you perceive the world is influenced by the ideas and beliefs and values that you acquire from society and from other people in this process of interaction. When Goffman coined the term framing, it's not unlike what you're doing right now, watching me on TV in a little frame, in a little box. And of course, you know I don't live in this little box. I live in lots of boxes, don't I? All day long. But you do frame me, and you get a sense of only a part of me. Now, let me see if I can give you a more concrete example. Let's, this is going to be hard, I think, on the television, because I don't know if these dots will show up.
They look good.
Okay. Okay, this is one of those little puzzle conundrums. The idea is to connect all the dots with only 4 lines. And of course, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, then you don't connect the middle dot. The solution, and I hope I don't mess this up, 3, 4. Is to go outside the frame of the square. Okay? Another example is to take those two lines as a puzzle and turn that into the number 4. Well, but then you have an upside down 4 if you just put a line up there. The simple thing to do, get out of the frame again. Now let me give you a couple more examples. And here what's important to note is that
15 seconds.
your perception is influenced by what you're valuing. Let me give you this one quick example. You've just broken up with someone. You wake up the next morning and the world is full of couples. Meaning you're looking for a single person, and in searching for that, what you note are the couples. Or if you just bought a new car, a Mustang, suddenly you're driving to work, you see Mustangs where you never saw Mustangs before. Your perception is influenced by your values.
Time's up. My first comment is, I really appreciate the fact that you said I'm going to stick with one concept, and I'm going to try to teach you this concept in 3 different ways. I think you did that extraordinarily well. I like the diagram. I like you being able to compare it to television. You gave them several reference points to understand what framing means. Helen and Scott.
I turned it over the field. Frank tried using the blackboard. Someone comment on that. How did it seem to you as a student in a distant site? Let's go to CEU.
Hi. They're getting ready for their presentations. Let me move over so you can see.
That's great. I thought that it was okay. I think that it's easier to use the graphics, but for someone who's more comfortable in writing with the chalkboard, it worked okay for him. So I didn't see it as a problem.
Okay. Anything else that you would say to Frank in his presentation?
Not really.
Okay.
Checks in the mail.
One comment that I did have was the fact that when he was standing with his back to what he was writing, it would have been helpful if he had, and he couldn't in this particular situation, but having his camera operator be able to position the camera so that they can cover what he's writing, so rather than just seeing his back, they can see the disclosure of letters on the screen would help that. So he isn't blocking what he's doing and standing with his back to an audience. He's seeing on a side angle and the actual disclosure of what he's writing.
I would add to that some early coordination with the technician to help the technician understand when it's okay to come in on a tighter shot. There were times there when I wanted to see Frank's face and I wanted to see his eyes, but the shot was always wide because the technician was trying to keep the blackboard in the view at the whole time. So coordinating with your technician to let them know when it's okay to come in tighter, and then cueing them some way so they know when to pull back to pull in the blackboard.
And that's a good point. Most of our students say that they need to see the teacher's face or they need to see pertinent visual materials. Sometimes there's a temptation, particularly in those courses that are going to be broadcast, to see reaction shots from other students. But that's really not as important to the students who are learning as the instructor's face and their facial expressions, their body language, and what they're actually using in terms of visual materials.
Okay.
Those are the things that we need to concentrate on.
Frank, let me ask you this. How did you feel about your experience with this 3-minute concept?
Actually, I think because you caught me by surprise, I wasn't quite as nervous as I would have been.
Okay.
Some benefits in going first. Right?
Yeah, there sure are. Yeah,
Let me caution you about one thing that you're even doing in this very moment
This?
as we speak.
Yeah.
It's normal, natural, and a certain amount of that's going to be okay, but if you do it a lot, the students will get the impression as if they're on a boat.
Yeah.
Seasick.
And they'll get seasick. But remember, movement is important. In fact, the students in our focus group said they like instructors that move. You're just going to have to moderate it just a tad.
Yeah.
One of the things that I frequently do that helps me because I rock also is I'll position myself so I feel the edge of a table with my leg, and so if
Yeah.
I start rocking, then I feel that bumping me, and that
Yeah.
reminds me that I need to be more smooth in my movement.
Yeah, that's good to know. And part of it's on a short leash here. Yeah, it does take some getting used to. But
Okay. Did you want to make another comment?
no, I thought it went well, and I was concerned about, maybe an over-the-shoulder shot there where they'd zoom in and
Let me tell you, the examples were great, and you used something visual to help them understand framing, as opposed to just talking to them behind the podium. So you're going to be totally commended for that. Let's have you pass the
Thank you.
mic on to the next person.